Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sith Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Dana Martin. And tonight we have with us the same crew that was with us last week. We like consistency, especially whenever we're doing segment like several shows in a row. Cameron, welcome back. Debbie, welcome back. Zane, welcome back. Yes. Hurrah. How was oh, we just got to jump right out, don't we? Little fanboy over there going, oh, I'll take some love too, man. You forgot the doctor part. No, just kidding. Okay. So, man, how was everybody's week? We got some fun this week, but last week, man, how was everything? Good? Anything special happen? Talk about?
And Josiah met Master Chief on Saturday. Yeah, we went to the Animeverse convention at NRG and met Steve Downs. It was pretty sick.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'll come show you. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh he's gone. Okay, this is cool. It's not Star Wars, but I don't care. It's freaking Master Chief.
It's Master Chief.
I'm watching season 2 right now. Just finished episode 2. Loving it.
Got a little autograph right here.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
Pretty sick.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Debbie, how was your week?
I've been sick for the last 4 days, so
I asked again because I was like, she was on last night, but she didn't sound like she should sound. And
I refer to this as my Darth Vader voice because it's a few octaves lower than.
and whenever it's very quiet in the house, you hear me trying to breathe. Awesome.
That's because my nose is all stuffed up. That's why.
Yeah, totally. How was your weekend, Zane? It was a week, whatever, Zane.
It went really good. I played a big gig out in Samo. It's around 170 people there. It's really
nice.
Mo, baby.
That apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yes, but do something else because this is what 48 looks like for you if you keep down the path you're going. Okay. So yeah, I had a good weekend. We went to winery or two, and it was super fun from what I remember. On that note, I tried a little experiment on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. That I'm gonna break the space-time continuum again and show. Oh my God! Look at that! Oh my God! Okay. Shoot. Every time I do something silly, it doesn't work out. Okay. What were we talking about?
Winery. You went to a winery.
So I did a poll on TikTok. And several people voted, and it was only 50-50. Now, the problem with that is I can't drink 2 bottles of wine during the show. Well, I can, but I won't. So I chose this one. It is the 19 Crimes in Rum Barrel, and it's very tasty, and I highly recommend it. I would say 8 of 10. Yes. Now, 19 Crimes, send me another bottle, and I'd be more than happy to taste it and share a review. No. Through passion, I gain strength is for tonight. Last week was Tenet 1. And I think it's an interesting time that we're kind of going through this. I don't want to get,
No.
And we're on the one after that.
Yeah.
What?
We're on
strength against power.
Yeah, we're on the next one.
You got this.
Hold
2
on,
glasses of wine, please.
How many glasses?
It's the wine.
It's the wine. Hold on. Through strength.
It's okay. You got this.
I gain power.
It's crazy. You have it open and everything.
What?
You have it open and everything.
I have what open and everything?
Part 3.
Oh. Update. Okay.
Magical.
It is magical. Through strength, I gain power. Last week was through passion, I gain strength. We talked a lot about our passions and how those things kind of propel propel us or push us and motivate us, our passions. Now we have this strength, and later on we're going to be talking about what that means. What does it mean to have strength that then leads to power? What are we talking about? But I didn't do a whole lot of stuff for the show because I was gone all weekend as far as looking up current news. But I saw, was there something about the Acolyte that hit this week or last week? Could one of you try to Google that real quick, Zane? Or that's the first thing. And then two, the Epic and is it Epic and Disney and Lucas and all, like they're all coming together and doing this little game metaverse thing?
Yeah, Bob Iger just discovered that a large portion of his audience plays video games. It's not
he just learned that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like when they bought Lucasfilm, they had a gaming studio underneath it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So it seems to me they're kind of going down the path of trying to make a metaverse like what they're doing over on the Oculus side. But I mean, is this something you think that I get? I'm assuming you guys have seen the what is that? Ready Player One, right? Or read that book. Great book. And fun movie. Of course, you got director Krennic, so how can you go wrong? But what I always found interesting is, yeah, we're going to end up in a place like that at some point, I would think. But one thing I didn't think of is, what about all these smaller studios, making their own? Is there ever going to be something you think that would port them all together? Or do you think it would be whoever wins in the end, and that's just going to be the way it was, like with CD, Blu-ray, HD, all that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I don't have any faith that currently right now Disney has any understanding what they want to do to connect with their audience. So I think Fortnite's done a great job because every big event Fortnite wise, I always hop back on with the guys that I played with back in 2018, 2019 on Fortnite and tune into whatever event. So, I kind of like Epic Games. I like the product they put out, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't think them, in terms of a Star Wars basis, in terms of them kind of distributing like Star Wars to be put out by like EA and those type of things, I don't really know. But I've liked the Jedi games, but I think Star Wars in terms of video game content has been really far behind compared to when LucasArts ran it.
I agree. Zane, were you about to say something?
On the Acolyte. I can wait if there's anything else we have to say on it.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I'm afraid of the cost to the consumer because, there'll be some Star Wars right now in Meta, and I have a couple of them. I played the Vader Immortal series and whatever else. Love that stuff. And then now you're going to come out with a whole other world. Well, am I going to be able to access that world through the gear I have? Or is it going to be some platform specific crap? You got to have our crap to get into our world. And that's my biggest fear for the consumer, is trying to make us choose which one. And it would behoove them, I think, and they would get more money in the long run for a lot longer, I guess, if they put all their eggs together and tried to work something out meta, some big, universe within ours, all together. But, and Epic is, I could think of other studios that I would have partnered with. That's just my thought. Not that they put out a bad product, just I think there's other things that might be better.
Well, that's kind of the issue, like in terms of Epic, on console, in terms of playing Fortnite and those type of things. It's pretty basic, but I'm very anti any launcher other than Steam for some reason. I have Epic Games launcher, but it's not like my launcher of choice per se. Mm-hmm. And they went all in with like the whole Palpatine deal in Epic, or like Disney did. Here's how Palpatine came back in Rise of Skywalker, even though it makes no sense. But I don't know. I think Epic and Fortnite in general have like a very large, the younger generation audience. Because I mean, Fortnite's still doing really well. I think so. I think that's why they chose Epic. So.
Debbie, you played some stuff. Did you play any of that Epic laden stuff?
The only thing I ever played was Star Wars Galaxies.
Galaxies. I swear, we're gonna have like a live broadcast where we're just for a whole 8 hours. We're just gonna go onto that EMU server and just start having fun. God,
I thought they shut that down.
They again?
I don't know. I mean, it's been eons since I played it, but I thought they had.
Oh yeah, the game's been shut down for a while. They've had 2 or 3 different incarnations of Rogue servers that were pretty fun. I played on a couple of them, but yeah, I don't know. I need more content always, but I feel like maybe a different studio. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Zane, Acolyte.
According to a couple of websites I've found, they came out and said that the Acolyte has a release window for summer of 2024.
Oh, nice. I'm looking forward to that. There's an article I did on that. It's pretty cool. And actually, I've seen it pop up a little more. I guess it's because of that's right. It's because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got the images if you want me to share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so here's the first one. Are you seeing it?
Nope.
Hold on. Might have done something wrong. Still no luck.
Still no luck.
Here, I'll send you the Reddit post.
You just want to pop it in the. Are you in the whatever it's called? The doc.
Did you send me
never
the
mind.
doc?
I got it.
Okay. All right.
The circus. Yeah, my wife sang that. I don't know, 3 weeks ago, just out of the blue, and I hadn't heard it in God knows how long, and now I can't stop singing it. It's killing me. All right. We're going to not add Cam. He's already on. We're going to go to share screen, and we're going to do this one. Share. Yay. Can y'all see this?
Oh. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
All right. So
That's
we've got
Trifferish.
the Mordian. What?
Yeah.
And here's the kids, the Padawans, the younglings. What is that? And is that aliens? Like the eggs? Just kidding.
Is this that?
Nope, not the eggs. Cool.
Also, I think it's closer to Phantom Menace than I thought I had realized. It's like 50 years, I think.
Oh,
It's the
I thought it
very
was like-
tail end of the High Republic.
I
50
that's
to
I thought it
100
was-
years.
I thought it was 100 years.
yeah, that's what I thought. No.
I don't know.
And also, Andor finished principal photography or whatever, filming.
Yeah.
It was either yesterday. I think it was yesterday or today.
The first half of Bad Batch episodes are getting very glowing reviews from people that have seen them so far.
Did it start already?
No, they've I think a couple people have been able to watch the first 8.
Oh, some screening.
Yeah. What I've seen, it seems very less fillery type episodes. I think it's very like boom, boom.
Like
boom.
we have only so many of the rest of the story to tell, and we got to knock this out.
Yeah, and apparently Palpatine is in it a good amount, I believe. So
Cool. Well, and he's gonna be something in Acolyte if it's that close. He's gonna at least because he was a senator from Naboo forever. So
Maybe he's the acolyte.
Y'all think they'll do Plagueis?
oh,
What do y'all think?
No.
You don't think so?
you will.
I mean, he has to be
No.
around, right?
Yeah, 100 years or 50 years even.
I mean, is he even like canon? Like other than him being mentioned in the movies, like because the James Luceno book came out before Disney.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think the book is canon, but he has been mentioned in the movie. So
he was mentioned once, but is he really Palpatine's master?
I see.
Or will they make him into something else?
Well, we
Hey,
have
was
the
your-
internet.
Yeah.
Say something controversial, Zane. Please, I'll follow suit. Come on. I see it. You've got it. You've got it in there. Say
I don't
it.
know.
Say it.
I just don't think they're gonna do it, honestly. And I want them to so bad, right? But we saw they haven't brought back a story. They've brought back additions, things like it. They've brought back characters that are similar, but I don't think they're gonna bring back Plagueis.
I mean, they
You don't
brought
think so?
Thrawn. Maybe
They
not
did.
heir to the Empire Thrawn, but I mean, they brought
Yeah, but he
Thrawn.
had books like as soon as it came out, or as soon as Disney bought him, they
Yeah,
asked
that's
on to
true.
make more
That's true.
books.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Man.
Stomping on those hopes.
So this week or tomorrow specifically, there are people that choose to celebrate a day that was made up to spend money on candy and cards called Valentine's Day. And I don't mind Valentine's Day. I think it's cool. Just have a day and do something nice. But then it's like, why don't you do that every month anyway? And yeah, it's some psychology stuff going on there. But on that note, there's an article that Dr. Dana Martin released today on GNN that is talking about multiple things within the Star Wars universe, multiple relationships, how they can impact the universe, and even kind of touch on a little bit of Finn and Poe, right? Like there was definitely a bromance of sorts there. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that before we really start getting into the Sith side. The relationships and how important they were. When you look at the closeness of Luke and Han, the closeness of I just said those Poe and Finn, the closeness of whoever. Shoot, the list goes on. That were not romantically involved, but there was definitely a layer of compassion for each other that was above and beyond, your normal war buddy or what have you. So, wanted to talk a little bit about that. Do you think that the amount of time that was spent developing those was important to the story? One, and two, do you really feel that those kind of relationships, outside of the romantic ones, those really close platonic relationships, could go above and beyond and gain power to make change, like through the universe? We see it with like Darth Malak and Revan, right? There was no romantic involvement, but certainly they had a deep relationship and love and respect for each other at one point, anyways. Anyone?
Was it Maul and Savage took over bounty hunters?
Oh, good one, brother. And they were brothers.
Mm-hmm. Or I mean, think about all the Siths. Think about all the Siths that Obi-Wan and Anakin went through. It's that same platonic relationship that's very strong.
Obi-Wan and Anakin, man. Yeah. And I think sometimes that can be a bit unhealthy. I believe that Obi-Wan was harder on him. I think we would agree he was hard on him. But it was for his own good. I'm like, he's like a father to me. We see all this stuff, But it wasn't. It was more than that, I think, to Obi-Wan. More than the promise to Qui-Gon. More than just, I have this duty to perform for the council. I don't know. So I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. How do you feel about Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship, and how that impacted the decision-making all the way around, from the council to what was being hidden from Obi-Wan? Or do you think any of that was due to that closeness of relationship?
I mean, I always think Obi-Wan kind of, like, he made the promise to Qui-Gon, but I think in his heart of hearts he knew he didn't have what it takes to give Anakin what Anakin truly needs, so he really kind of tried his best. But I mean, I think we see really the relationship between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars TV show. I mean, it's really kind of, I mean, it's always interesting how that Obi-Wan compares to Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. But I mean, Anakin kind of, he was the little brother to Obi-Wan, and kind of, I mean, pushed Obi-Wan's limits, and was just kind of made Obi-Wan kind of not be as so like, oh, council's way and blah 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 blah, you know. And I mean, I think seeing the relationship grow throughout 7 seasons in the Clone Wars makes Revenge of the Sith, even though I've seen it 30 times, hit harder after rewatching the Clone Wars recently. So
I would agree immensely. I mean, Obi-Wan, I think, of if there was a, what is this story about? Well, the Skywalker family, right? But then it's Obi-Wan's a close second onto what this is all about. I think his relationship with Luke from afar, right? He cared for that kid because he loved Anakin still, you know, and knew, yes, the dangers, but it was also, I mean, you see it played out on screen on Kenobi with Leia. I mean, he cared about those kids. So whenever they're together, Padme and Obi-Wan, and they're in the thing, I want to ask this question, somebody please. When he is looking at her, he just kind of grins and goes, "Anakin's the father, isn't he?" Like the Anakin, or I'm sorry, Padme and Obi-Wan were close, right? I mean, they went on missions together. They were friends and lifelong friends. She was keeping that from him, right? And
I mean, he knew.
He knew.
Wasn't there like deleted audio? I mean, there's like a ton of Padme Revenge of the Sith deleted scenes, and I think the book expands on it. But I mean, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew what she meant to him, and I think when he sees the twins being born, you know, realizing, because I mean, he thinks Anakin's dead, right? Presumably, depending upon whatever. But then he sees the twins being born, and then when he, you know, spoilers for those who haven't seen Rebels, but when he kills Maul, and Maul's like, is he the chosen one? I mean, he sees like the twins as like the second chance to like right his sins of failing their father, per se, right? And so, I mean, I think it just adds a whole different layer to his character. So, probably the best overall written character in terms of, I mean, movies and animated shows.
Would you say that you could maybe say the tragedy of Obi-Wan? Is it a tragedy? Is his life a tragedy? Yeah. Why, Debbie?
Well, I mean, Anakin, obviously. Satine. You know, he loses the two most important people in his life. Well, and then losing Qui-Gon.
Yeah. This is where we go. The
sorry,
Jedi
I
Order
talk too
takes
much
and
and then I
takes.
start coughing.
No worries. The Jedi Order takes and takes, don't they? I like that you mentioned Satine, because there's an article that I published today on GNN that actually mentions Satine and Obi-Wan. I loved that little mini arc, and it broke my heart. Like yeah, Obi-Wan.
But he still didn't fall to the dark side.
Well,
Maul wanted him to, but he still didn't do it.
You know, there were moments he was tiptoeing. No doubt in my mind, especially in episode 3. Like there was,
When?
God dang it! But he has a streak of wholesomeness that is able to shut it off, just like that, doesn't he? Though, when he starts to teeter, it's just like bam, and he just steps back.
But when does he teeter though?
He teetered in episode 3 in the lightsaber fight with Anakin. In the fight with Darth Maul, you see him grit his teeth and anger and shout when he's, whatever. Those are the two off the top of my head. There are several more. I want to talk about Jedi who tiptoe in an episode or two later, and this is one. So this could be your little primer for that. It's something that we've talked about in the show over several shows about different Jedi. Mace being probably one of the biggest. Yoda as well. So we'll talk about that in a couple of shows. But yeah, man, I think you have to have the ability to yank it back when you start to get out of control. And this is what our segue is, right? Through strength, I gain power. So my passion drives me and gives me this strength that maybe I didn't know I had. What ends up happening through that strength is you find ways to achieve your goal, and a lot of times that means building up certain areas of your foundation, your scope of influence, et cetera, and whatever you have to do. But it's that strength that kind of gives you the passion that gives you the strength, and then the strength drives you into whatever you're trying to get to. So I like to talk a lot about power, and there's some TikToks about power too. And one of those TikToks is about who you give power to. And I think when we have strength that's gained through our passion, I have a passion for coaching people. I have that builds my strength, and if I want, that then gives me power if I want to help people change. So there is a pattern and there is a process to us becoming powerful within ourselves through our strengths. That was a lot, but it's a lot to say to kind of get us start talking. When I think about someone like Darth Vader, I think of someone that had a passion of saving Padme. He was passionate about the people he cared about, and that even in the end, he still had passion and compassion for people like his son. But his passion and his drive and desire gave him strength to seek out saving Padme, right? After that, now what, right? So now we have that going on in the background. Well, he still has to eradicate Jedi. He still has to do all this stuff. And that strength that he gained through his passion provided him a power that he had never had before. And we see that in episode 3, where he says, only my newfound power can do that. Kind of juvenile, but yeah, that was the writing. That wasn't Hayden's fault, right? So yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. So the first question, do you feel that yes or no, and why, the amount of pain and suffering through his passions, Vader gained on that strength and gained power? How does that work? What does that look like? Because he was sent off to do some things to build his dark side power and gain strength. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. How does that work? I love it when I ask a hard question without putting it on the outline.
I didn't get an outline.
What? Oh, are you serious? Oh, I'm a total jerk.
It was just hiding it.
Did I really not share that with you? Debbie, you don't have it either? Oh my God, I'm so mean. Oh, look, there y'all are. All right, rewind. Let's start this whole thing over again. All right, hey everybody. It's all good. So those things drive us. We develop our goal, like his goal. Sorry, that really threw me. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Sorry, guys. Oh my god. All right. Oh, hey, look, people are jumping up. No. All right. So, the first part of power is that we gain or we become powerful based on those strengths. Those strengths that we have give us a power that maybe we didn't even know we had before. And in Anakin's case, the more he drove towards his passion, the stronger he got, the more powerful he became. That's what I'm trying to get at. So how does that work within the scope of what we know of Anakin or even other Sith Lords? Like, how does that, what is a passion that can drive the strength and then give them power in an example? Zane, you've been quiet. You got anything off the top of your head? Thanks, Josiah.
I mean, I think in terms of Anakin's case, like it switched from I want to become a master so I can gain access to the Jedi archives to save my wife. Now, Palpatine essentially promises him this: if you do what I tell you to do, and you put your trust in me and you do these things, you're going to gain the ability to save your wife. So he kind of, even though we know it not to be true, but it's like he kind of in his head had an end goal,
right?
And he's like, because I think I've always thought of like when I think I've mentioned this on past shows, like when he goes to the Jedi Temple, and he kills the younglings and he kills the other Jedi. It was more of like we don't like his eyes aren't yellow, right? Because he's just like he's not doing it out of pure evil. He's like I have to do this because I have to gain the ability from the dark side to save my wife, right? But when he goes to Mustafar and he kills the Separatists, then he was like, I'm actually enjoying this because of the Clone Wars and all that stuff. And I mean, he was just eventually like all dark side users. I mean, they just become blinded by the dark side, and then Obi-Wan comes down the ship and it just sets him off. So, and I have a thought too for another episode when we talk about Palpatine not being redeemable. I have a great topic and it brings up your boy in the Jedi Temple, Dana. So I just wanted to side note that in there too.
This is Cameron's side.
I'm cooking up. I had to hold my tongue on the Luke and Han thing without throwing some shade at Ryan Johnson.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, I had to.
You don't think they had a great relationship?
No, they did, which makes that movie even more stupid. This random girl tells Luke that his best friend is dead, and they just cut to another scene. Really? We don't want to see that? I don't like Ryan Johnson. I will not apologize for it.
I bet was it Dimes the Donuts or whatever? Like, yeah, Luke curled up in a ball and sobbed, no doubt.
Oh yeah. I mean, why would we not see that? But it's all good.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
Luke was very compassionate, very passionate, and he's one that we've talked about too that walked that tightrope sometimes. And it was because of his passion and his love for his friends, right? And it did give him strength. You saw, I mean, even it was. So you're gonna. I don't want to start an argument, but
say it.
Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back. He was so young to being force sensitive still, and I think he was allowing his feelings to swing through him at times in ways that maybe made him uncomfortable if he were to look back and reflect on it and debrief. And you could see that in like the hallway scene, and then you could like where he challenges, and then he's like, "Oh crap!" and his dad's charging him. He's got his dad. Sorry, Vader's charging him. You see it too. Out of desperation, it's just this desperate that fear leads to anger, suffering. So Yeah, I think Luke in Empire especially was having all sorts of feelings running through his body and didn't even know what to do with all of that. But it was based on his friends, right? It was based on his compassion at that point for his friends and his love for his friends. Even that stupid C-3PO droid could stand that. I will tell you, I get it, right? He's needed. He's a kind of but to have to watch him in every single freaking Star Wars movie, C-3PO is my least favorite. No. The Puntables are my least favorite characters, the Ewoks. But we'll talk about that in another episode. Puntables, yes, that's what I call them.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. I agree with you though. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought you were really about to say something controversial, like.
No, I felt like, yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to turn to the dark side, but certainly his passion for his friends made him strong. And he was facing off on Vader. Vader was having to test him, right? I mean, you could say, he was sparring with him, messing with him to test out. It's got to be who Vader was. He was master strategician. I can't say that. Yeah. So let's talk about that, right? So in Empire, he was more powerful because he was following Tenet 2 of the Sith Code. He did give Vader a little bit of a pushback. Would we agree?
You just roll your eyes at me, Zane.
I mean, he's the whole purpose of Luke Skywalker is that he will do anything to save his friends. Anything, Disney. Not go run away and hide anyways. That's the point though. Like he was like his father was driven to do anything to save his wife.
Yeah.
Luke was like losing his friends. He would do anything to stop that, even sacrificing himself. So
he left his training knowing he would probably get his butt whooped just because he knew he had to be there to save his friends.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He was.
Yeah.
He would not have stayed on Dagobah, having that vision in his head that he was gonna potentially lose Han and Leia. So.
And you look at other characters I think that are written in that way. Like I think Poe's written in that way. Poe's anger at Rey. Well, we're getting a little off the Sithy side of this, but it is still relevant, right? The passion that drives the string. Poe was a hell of a pilot, man. Like in his own right, he was amazing. Had to be a little bit force sensitive to be that good, in my opinion, based in that universe. But whatever. Point is, like he got plumb angry with what's her name? Starts with an A. I can't remember her name. Amlin Holdo. Like he was pissed, not because he wants to be in charge. Blah blah blah. I don't think it was that. I think it was just he wants to know so he can help, so he can be a part of the solution, not because he's narcissistic, but because he just loves and cares for these people, Finn and Rey. And when he yells at Rey, right? It's not about an anger at Rey for staying back in training. It's we need you. We care about you. We all have to do this together. Man, sorry, I get on these tangents with these guys, but I just love this stuff. So give me another example. Zane, I don't think you've given me an example yet. I want Debbie to say something, but I want to make sure she has plenty of time between. I don't want her to like.
Sometimes I need the time because a lot of this just kind of goes over my head, and being sick makes it even worse.
I was gonna say, what do you have? Some antihistamines, man. They'll do that. I was actually in a meeting today, and at the beginning of it, I couldn't even talk, and it was because I was still coming down off of some antihistamines from the morning. And my boss just kind of like, you all right, man? Like, yeah, I'm great, Hetty. Good. Anyways, so yeah, Zane, sorry about that. What do you got? No, you're muted or something. Can't hear you.
Unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Out of speed. Whoa. A big one that y'all probably won't like is actually Kylo, specifically Kylo and Rey, in the last movie.
Oh lordy.
You have to think that Kylo was, even after they had fought, he was a broken person. He just couldn't do anything. But literally, because it was him and Rey, and he was going for Rey, and ended up saving her. He had so much strength. all because of his passion for her.
Yeah, that's strength. I got you. So that's
strength.
His passion for her created the strength to do what and gave him the power to do what he did.
Yeah.
And Cam's like, oh, it's a stretch. It can't.
Sucks. I mean, it sucks, but that's
it's
what
a good
is.
example. I think it's good. But so Ray.
That's
good. For all of you in podcast land.
That's my guy right there. That's my guy.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Man. Okay.
It's still canon.
Okay, Debbie. You clear? You good? You have an example? Are we good? I do like that example though, Kylo, or I wouldn't Ben, because Ben came out in order to do that. Yeah. So that
my God.
Yeah, I got you.
I'd say the Last Jedi fits that example more than the.
How so?
Because I think when he killed Snoke for her. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have not seen the movie since when it released, but when he kills Snoke and he wants her to be his partner, right? You know what I mean? And he did all that fighting because he could have just. I don't know. Did she walk away after she tells him no? I don't remember how that happens, but
yeah,
I don't know. It was a solid example for the last movie. I agree, but
yeah.
Well, it's funny. We're in this universe right now of Valentine's Day, and we were talking about Satine and Obi-Wan. Now we're talking about Cal. But it's interesting that it is love that seems to be the center of these people that lose their shit. Like, why are people? What is it?
Even Rey, even with Rey, it was like at the middle of Rise of Skywalker. She thinks that her friend Chewie is in a prison ship, and through her passion, through the strength, she has the power to pull that ship down. Oh, she shocks it, doesn't she?
Well, yeah, but holds on to it even with it burning. Yeah, burning its engines. Sure. It's a good one. Yeah. Love creates crazy emotions and passion, so it's understandable. I would say, which is what makes it so not understandable, because man, just twisted and tossed about. Ooh, that's a line from Firefly. Ooh. Sorry, we need more Firefly in our lives. Sorry, just derail. Okay, Debbie.
Well, I can't think of any Sithy ones. Of course, as much as I love Sith, I'm probably more Jedi oriented. But I think Obi-Wan, he had a lot of strength to do what he had to do. Of course, the tragedy of Obi-Wan, all the deaths and losses and whatnot, but still had the strength to watch over Luke. And of course, in the Kenobi series, take on Leia, even though he really didn't want to in the beginning. But, to come out of hiding in order to save Anakin's other child, I think that was a lot of strength, or his past experience with losses and that gave him a lot of strength and power. Be able to do that, because he'd been hiding in the Force, or hiding without the Force, for several years, and then had to come out of that and be rusty as hell. As far as Force stuff and using his lightsaber and whatever, but yeah, I think that took a lot of gumption.
I know we are a city focused show, but you're on something there. I would love to know
It's
if you
NyQuil.
believe if what
It's NyQuil.
NyQuil. It's what it's half a bottle. The Obi-Wan that we meet in A New Hope. Now that we know what the Obi-Wan is of the past, do you feel he was reluctant in taking up in Luke, or do you feel like he was like, oh shit, this is the time, this is it, this is what I'm supposed to do? I mean, like I think for me, I never got a clear understanding of whether he felt that was his destiny or if he fought it a little, or what do you guys think? Do you think he was just all in, yeah, let's roll, or do you think he struggled with it?
There was no struggle.
He knew.
I agree with Debbie.
You think he straight up just wanted to fix his mistake from the past? Why didn't he kill him?
In Kenobi?
Which time?
Sorry. Why didn't that guy kill the other guy? Why?
Hell, man.
Why didn't Obi-Wan kill Vader? Why didn't he?
Oh, that's a great question, Dana. If you're talking about the Kenobi show, those are my exact thoughts after that beautiful scene they put out.
Oh, hold on. I mean, initially, he de-legged him and he quartered him, but he didn't kill him. Why didn't he kill him?
That's
To be
not the
fair,
Jedi way.
He ran out of stamina.
Debbie's on to something. Two, I think maybe Pseudo might have in his head might have thought like he had gone through enough. I mean, you just cut off the man's limbs and he just got burned by lava. It would probably be a logical assumption that he would eventually die.
I mean, I don't think he would have known Palpatine would have come and saved him.
Yeah, and I mean, he had to. I mean, maybe he just. That's what I think. I mean, I think he went through enough probably trauma there after dismembering your brother, and he just gets burned in front of your eyes, and his wife is dead up there potentially or whatever. So.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
he. At that point in time, I don't think he had it in him. I mean, outside of it's not the Jedi way, but I don't think he could have done it.
So I believe his decision to leave him there was the least humane decision, because he left him there to slowly burn and die. I feel the best humane decision would have been just to end it. But
so you would have wanted to physically kill him, like you stab your lightsaber into him. You see him die. Like,
he's too dangerous to be left alive.
Yeah, but as Kenobi said, you were my brother, Anakin.
Yeah. But is he now?
Yes.
I mean, that's why he didn't. Because he still thought Anakin was
here's
there.
the thing, like even all the stories that we have, in different mythos or Bible, Cain and Abel, like there's always this, whether it's like a brother, Moses, and Pharaoh's son, like all those things where you've got these people very close together, and somebody loses their mind, the other person just doesn't like I just don't understand. I guess I don't know, maybe because I don't have a brother. Or someone that I feel like I'm that close to that I would allow to live after like in that state, because they're gonna suffer.
I mean, I think he thought he was dead. I mean, in the Kenobi book, or not the Kenobi book, which is the Legends book where he finds out in the cafe.
That's Kenobi.
That's
It's the Kenobi book? Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, if you go off of that book, I know it's a different continuity at this point, but I mean, he was like, are you serious? Like, didn't he have like a panic attack? If I remember, it's been a minute since I've read the book, but he had like a panic attack. I mean, he thought he died on Mustafar when he burned.
Mm-hmm.
The logical assumption. But
well, even in the Kenobi show, he has a panic attack when Reva? Is it Reva or is
Yeah.
it the Inquisitor? Who is it that tells him that Anakin's alive?
I thought it was Reva, but I could be
Okay.
wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the panic in his eyes, and I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but I don't know. He might have even been breathing heavily.
Mhm.
But yeah, to make that realization that holy crap, he's still alive and he's now Darth Vader. Yeah.
I mean, that's why and we can always touch on it when we actually go over the episode. But that's why I don't think in Revenge of the Sith he was teetering on the dark side when he was fighting with Anakin. I think he was just doing everything he could to. I like the recent animation where they add that line in where he tells him it doesn't have to end this way. Like that's what I think Kenobi would be doing at that point, because he tells Yoda, "I don't have the strength to kill Anakin. I can't." No, under any circumstance, he can't do it. Even after seeing the hologram and seeing what he does to Padme and all of that, I don't think Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith would have done that. Now in the Kenobi show, in the second fight that they have, it makes utterly no sense to why he doesn't kill him in that last episode, because he got the strength to whatever the cool flashback scene where he lifts the rocks up over him and all that, and he gets the strength to fight again, right? It makes no sense why he doesn't kill him that second time, personally.
Guilt.
That's true.
Aside from Darth Maul, what human or person, not human because Maul was a Zabrak, but you know what I mean? Like what sentient beings has Kenobi killed that we know of? Not a lot. He killed a lot of
Clones?
droids.
Or not clones. Yeah, droids.
He killed a lot of droids.
I mean, he killed clones when him and Yoda were storming back into the temple.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They're doing their job so we can do ours, though. He did not look at clones the same way that Anakin did.
Mhm.
Oh, even Ahsoka too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always a funny meme that gets thrown around. How the different Jedi handle the clones when they turn against them.
I don't know. I just there's so much that just in those movies alone, we have barely even touched on anything else. Like we talked a little bit about Maul and Savage, the relationships between Finn and Poe, but there was another one. Oh my goodness,
Revan and Malik. Is that what
Revan
you
and
we talked
Malik.
about that one too. Crap, I can't remember.
There's Han and Chewie.
There we go. Thank you.
Luke and Han.
So yes, there was the life debt, right? With Han and Chewie, and with that, I love that we're kind of intermingling all of this stuff together. It's so fun. So Han and Chewie, right? You have the life debt, but wouldn't you say that they swapped that pretty often, and that it probably just became a okay, now you owe me. Okay, now I owe you. That they just cared about each other. We saw what when Han dies, Chewie loses his mind, and I read when Chewie died, Han lost his mind. I'm getting emotional. This wine's good, y'all. But no, I mean, imagine.
Did y'all ever hear?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dana. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My
No.
bad.
I got a refill. Go ahead.
All right. I would love for Disney, if you somehow listen to this, despite my gripes with you, if you would release the Adam Driver Chewbacca torture scene, I would like you probably 25% more, because I heard that was phenomenal, and I don't know
Wait,
why that
what?
wasn't in the film.
It exists?
Yeah.
I heard it was in the script. I didn't know they actually have it somewhere. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the Chewbacca actor said like Adam Driver was like in his bag.
Amazing.
If y'all get that term. So
Dude, Adam Driver, 100%. Adam Driver, I will tag you. You're amazing. We love you. Yeah, dude.
would add so much more depth to like the whole relationship, So,
Yeah.
because isn't there something in canon where like Ben is he has like nightmares or something, and he has to. Chewbacca is one of the only people he feels kind of comfortable and can rest around. I think there's something like that.
I think there's some in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, which is great.
Look, if you're not gonna put it on a screen for me, come on, man.
I'm with you there, Dana, but we got to take what we can get. I'm honestly thinking about buying some of these Luke comics so I can see something about this Jedi Order he plans on doing. So.
Man, I need them to do a animation of the dark whatever the first those two graphic novels where Luke turns to the dark side. And, oh my God, I need that in my life. Dark Empire, thank you. 1 and 2. So wait, I had those. Did I give those to you? Do you have them? Oh, yeah. You can't find those anymore, man. I think you can get a reprint now every once in a while, but no,
you can't.
You better keep those safe, man.
You can get a reprint.
Oh, you can still get the reprint. Okay, but those aren't the reprints.
Yeah.
That's OG. You gotta You gotta hold on.
OG,
man.
That's gotta go through generations.
Those are like the third. Well, like one of them I had twice, another one I had 3 times. So whatever. Anyways, I was buying and exchanging to like at half price till I could get the oldest, copies or whatever that someone would turn in. And in Austin, there's half price books everywhere. In College Station, not so much. There's one and there's not.
Hey, we got one. We got one. And it ain't that bad.
Yeah, we have kind of half price books. And it's like a hat. It's like a quarter price books. So
it's valid.
Moving into kind of a little bit more of the negative of this, and I think I like how the Chewie Rey, that family community piece plays into that negative part, right? Like she straight up like blew up, not only held the transport ship from taking off, but also destroyed it in midair with lightning. That amount of power. Okay, if you were Finn and standing next to her and you saw that, what are your thoughts?
How the hell can she do that?
I'd be shit my pants myself, but
shocked, just shocked. I don't think I'd understand anything. I'd be too confused.
Yeah. All right, let's go. No. Tell me what you did. How did you do that? And I think that's an interesting piece of some of what I disagree with on that. She didn't know she could do that, and she did that. There was no training on how to do that, how to focus, why to focus, where to focus, and so things like that, like I get. But aside from that, yeah, I'm with you on that, Cam. But aside from that, yeah, I would have been terrified if I know her as Rey the Scavenger. Next thing you know, she's blown up freaking transport ship, interstellar transport ships.
Because she's a Palpatine.
She's a Palpatine. Palpatine's very powerful.
Just the worst possible route they could have gone with that character. That is unfortunate.
But she was not happy with herself, was she, for doing that? Obviously. She realized that amount of passion leading to strength, leading to power is dangerous. Not only dangerous to others, but she almost lost herself. I believe they probably could have taken that a step further than what they did on the Death Star throne room scene with Darkseid Rey. That was just a little flash, whatever, and she turned away. Bullshit. She was angry. She was, I wish they would have played on that more to show how much growth she still had in front of her. But yeah, that's, I think, an example of where that passion can go wrong. What is another example in Star Wars? I'll talk slowly so everyone has time to think. Where the strength leads to passion can go wrong. So kind of a negative piece of that I mentioned in our outline. We're talking about like the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, right? Like they had passion for the people in the beginning, and you had the Republic, and that was a great form of government, and things were wonderful. And then you got corruption because that passion for the people created a strength of that nation, and they were very powerful. And and through power they gained victory, which we'll talk about next week. But man, they got it very fast in a not a healthy way, and it's that fast route, the non-healthy way, that I believe everyone falls. Hey, America, we're ripe for it too. Don't think we're not. I think it'll be a little different than it was in Roman times on how all this happens, but it's just the nature of things. So Roman Empire is a good example. We have our people in our government that get their passion for people, right? Here we go. Everything passionate for people, want to help, want to do good. And before you know it, that passion gives you a strength and a power to move people. Next thing you know, you're in jail doing 20 to life for destroying emails, or not, depending on your name. So do you think this does, am I going nuts, or does this exist right now where it can be a very negative thing for us today?
I think you just gave probably the greatest example, probably in that last part.
I don't want to get in trouble for anything, so I just kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but that's true, right? I mean, I just cannot believe that there's not a single politician, and maybe a handful, but the majority of our politicians in America started out, they were just teenagers, right? At one point, they put the pants on just like us. They got jobs, maybe, or maybe they just were professional politicians their whole life. But they gained a power and a strength and a power by their passion of wanting to serve people or whatever was driving them for office. Now, it's not so great. And it's not just us, right? I mean, it's everywhere. But I believe that our Star Wars universe writers are very attuned to that. Lucas was very attuned to the political stuff. He didn't put a lot of it in for show, but it was definitely between the lines of what was happening there. And there were a lot of deleted scenes that I wish that they would have kept in, especially in the prequels, where they were using their passion for the people that gained strength and power to create the Rebel Alliance. Like that's an incredible bit of a couple of deleted scenes from different movies and or series. So I kind of wanted to wrap up with that. Like, where do you think you might? I know it was a good example, but where do you think you might see a negative example of this in the real world? Even within your, like, I know for myself, right? I gained a power. I had passion for helping. I gained a degree, a doctorate degree, and that was very awesome. And now I have this power of and all I'm doing is wielding a mic and being silly. But no, that's actually a very good example. But it could have been a very bad example if I used that to do something stupid, like, I don't know, like prey upon, unexpecting old ladies or something. Like, I don't know. You're like, oh yeah, I can help you, which happens all the time. Starts out, as a passion for helping the elderly. Next thing you know, they're writing you checks. Like it happens. I want to find one of those, but I don't need chicks written. So what do you guys think an example might be today outside of politics?
I mean, I think for anybody that has had bad managers, I mean, you would see that too. I mean, I've always liked the thing of power and money and any type of gain in that sense. It just brings out who you actually are. You know what I mean? Like, if you're inherently a good person, or whatever one would perceive to be a good person, I mean, no amount of power or money, influence, or whatever, I mean, it's not going to really change at the root of who you really would be, So, I mean, I would say my real life example would just be the coworker that gets promoted over you or someone else because they have more time, but maybe management's not the best fit for them, because just because you have a certain amount of experience doesn't mean you can manage people, know. So
yeah, that power can go to their heads, right? He's like, wow, there were some whites in those eyes looking up. You got
I know a few.
No name calling. You got an example of that?
Oh yeah. I don't want to say too much because I don't know if they watch.
All right, in that case, Zane, what?
Yeah, they it starts off innocently enough, and then
Sure.
once they get in that position or they start climbing that ladder, and then it's just like, yeah, the Sithy side comes out, and they do things that you would have never thought in a million years. But yeah, they did it. They did that. Yeah.
Did that happen? Yes, it did.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you gotta think of like the look. I mean, going back to Star Wars. Sorry, I know we're talking about the real world, but look at Natalie Portman's face when, or Padme's face, whatever, when Anakin is telling her, only my new powers, like you and I could rule the galaxy, and she's just like, who is this? But that's who Anakin was. That was a part of him. Padme was in the Senate, served the Republic because she was a good person, right? Now Anakin had good qualities and may have inherently wanted to be a good person, but he wanted to do it on his own terms, partially because of how, and that was influenced by how his life was and those type of things. But I mean, again, when people gain a power, it just shows you who people really are.
I was totally about to Kanye you there. Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but hold up, because I like to call him Mr. Red Flags myself. If they don't want to listen, they should be made to listen. I'm sorry. What? You're and he's like 18, like, or whatever. Like, this kid has some really warped views, and for them to have that in episode 2, I think, yeah, it was obvious foreshadowing, right? But if he was really that kind of a person then, I mean, what kind?
I can't help. He was being indoctrinated by a sociopath on the side, so really can't.
I know, Padme.
But I have seen interviews with college age students who think socialism should be the way to go.
Oh, Debbie's getting controversial. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
We're not going down that pathway. But no, not on this show. But I will say, yeah, no, and I think the difference of environment and how they were reared, each generation, right, has their own, like, no, it should be this way, and so it is. This is where power comes in, and we're going to talk a lot more about power next week. Power is kind of one of my specialties. Power is something that inherently you have that you choose to give away. And that's controversial in and of itself sometimes to make that sort of statement. But
that's a hot take.
Do
I have no power.
You have
that's a hot take.
Everybody has power. Who do you choose to allow to have power over you is the question. And I think the Sith do a really good job of regulating who they allow to have power over them. Whereas the Jedi, they were like, who's the new chancellor now? But they were supposed to operate independently but they really didn't. They had a boss, and it was the chancellor, and it always was. But that's actually a whole other episode for another time. So yeah, no, I'm with you there. There's such a difference in ideology in a lot of that, and a lot of that has to do with what your environment is, right? So, moving into I just cut that. The dark side, political manipulation exemplified in the pursuit of power, ultimately leading to the control of the galaxy and subsequent destruction. So, yes, that much power. That was a note I had on our outline. When we have that much power, one of two things happen. Everybody dies or you die. Think about through history. Anyone that has lost their mind because of their passion, got super powerful, what happened? Either they killed a ton of people or they went and just they died. I don't think there's any in between.
Gladiator.
Do what?
Gladiator.
Oh, Gladiator. What a great movie. That's controversial too, I think. I think a lot of people don't like it. But one of my favorite lines is the frost. Sometimes it makes the blade stick. That's one of my favorite. Like every time it's frosty outside, I get a grin while I'm drinking my coffee. Like, careful for that frost. Your blade might stick, sucker. Yeah. Zane, have you even seen Gladiator?
With Russell Crowe?
Yeah. Oh, I guess so. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Who
Sometimes I
hasn't?
feel like you're 12.
Who hasn't?
You haven't seen anything. Oh. Wait, we
Yeah,
have a
well-
list on our fridge of movies he hasn't seen that I need him to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's wrap this up. So so through strength I gain power. We know that passion and following on our journey, whatever we're passionate about, gives us a strength to seek out a vision and look towards a goal. And that strength then gives you power to create the strategies and the tasks and whatever's needed to get to that goal. Next week, we're going to be talking about how power gives us victory and what that means. And I guarantee you it means a hell of a lot more than any of those politicians up there that we were talking about earlier. It's the power that you have over you and what you can do is inherently yours, and you have the ability to keep it or give it. And that's the beauty of things like influence, which we have talked about before, because that is a mutual respect and a mutual power exchange. It's really cool stuff. Wow. So that was, we got started a little bit late. So a little over an hour tonight, fellas. And our wonderful Demi. She's a fella, too. I mean, I know she didn't get offended by that. So it's cool. Now, okay. Now, someone's about to get offended. I don't know which of you is Solo Girl. You're Solo Girl? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I was like, but that's not Cat. That's you. No, wait, is it? I don't know who that is. So yeah, whenever I'm like, "Hey, Solo Girl," like I didn't know who it was. I
That
knew
was
it
me.
It was you. Now I know, and now you all know. So go follow Solo Girl. Oh my goodness! Did you see the way she looked at me? Like, are you serious? Like, in April, you came on to this organization, and it's I'm coming up on a year at GNN. Are you kidding me? It seems like
Wow.
20 minutes underwater. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But I did release a new article today. Go check it out. It's super fun. It's light. It's nothing big and serious like we do on the show or what some of my other articles are. It's real fun. It's just talking about Obi-Wan and Satine or the Raylos or the whatever's else's. Just a little paragraph about Mara Jade and Luke. Oh,
Yeah.
please see that shit played out on screen. That's one of my favorite love stories of all. Huh?
Because Luke and his Jedi Order they aren't able to.
Oh shit! Yeah, they done ruined it. They'd have to retro everything.
Yeah, which is
it all.
Not opposed. They're not gonna do that.
You remember the last decade of your life? Gone. Okay, let's start over. No, in all honesty,
Wrong.
I mean,
That makes no sense why
good.
he would do that.
I got my squashmallow pillow. Ariel, that redhead, they're crazy. Oh, sorry. Present company excluded, of course. And so, of course, Mara Jade, it's like, she's a redhead, they're just crazy. But
Who plays her though, and y'all's who y'all think they would cast if they ever made her an actual character?
I wish they would have cast what's her name, who was the model for that for a couple of years. I don't remember her name, but she was just exactly how I imagined. Look, I'm getting like, get the vapors. Like exactly how I imagined her. But I, you know what? It's that little hint of danger. Can we just talk about that for a second? Like, I know, like the girls always like the bad boys, right, or whatever. But dudes, Mary Jade, I mean, she was trying to kill Luke. And Luke's like, hey, babe, you don't want to kill me. Trust me. Sit down over there on that log. I got you. We're good. I'm going to make you a campfire, girl, and we're going to talk this out. Man, he was smooth. Luke. Yeah, man. I loved all that. I loved that about his kids and then, she ended up going through what Leia and like, it's just, there was so much richness to the story. And all those authors would read each other's stuff to assure there was a level of continuity in there. Like very few things were like, what was that? Why that doesn't match what happened there?
Yeah, and there was a couple that the books that I don't know what the hell that was
about what 40, 50 book novelizations over that time period. And I didn't go into the Bong stuff. We've talked about that. But outside of that, everything else, the 30 I read, very, very well written, the majority of them. The Rogue Squadron stuff was amazing. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm just too far removed. I just don't read those books right now. I don't know. It's extra. And I'm writing and doing a show. I don't have time to read. Who reads?
Would have been great. Would have been great source material, Luke.
I do.
I do read, I guess. I read the Dark Disciple one with Ventress. I'm so excited about that. I can't believe we saw that last week. I'm still stoked. All right, Ventress. Okay, so that goes back to like the bad girl syndrome. Like Move along. What do we have next week? So through Power I Gain Victory is next week. We are going to look at that. Also, remember I was talking about Stephanie Ross. I don't know how she's doing right now, or that show just ended actually at 9. So whenever her stint is over on the floor game show, Stephanie has agreed to come on our show. And of that, I want to surprise her with some Star Wars trivia. So I'm going to ask some participation from our fans, our 4 fans that are watching right now. Participation through that and through GNN's avenues to see if we can come up with some Star Wars trivia for her. She is not a member of any of our groups or anything like that, so there wouldn't be any tricks or anything, but it'll be fun. She is a trivia meister. She knows a lot about a lot. And she loves Star Wars, so good for her. Any parting shots? Anybody got anything? I know, Zane, you did. You had that gig last week, 170 plus people. It was amazing. I wish I could have seen it and streamed it. I'm glad that you had a good turnout. It was awesome. What do you guys got going on for the next week?
Reading Fellowship of the Ring.
You're my guy. Fellowship of the Ring again?
No, I'm still reading it, but I'm trying to finish it.
Oh, you start. That's right. Who was it that told you to read it?
Nobody. I just Josiah and I and a couple other buddies watched the movies again.
Maybe that's what I was thinking that you had seen. Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, love my guy Tom Bombadil. Great character. Glad he wasn't in the movies though.
Yeah, I got no idea what you're talking about. I never read it.
You should.
I should. No, but there's a list of these, right? I've gone to Stephen King now. I don't read them. I just watch them. But if there's a clown or a spider or it, where it's both, I'm out.
I mean, Stephen King movies are close to nothing like any of the books.
I'm not rocking with the clown at all.
Thank you. So I hate clowns and I hate spiders. What does my son say? Let's watch a Stephen King movie. Oh yeah, It. Okay, but it has a clown.
Absolutely not.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And it's Tim Curry. I love Tim Curry. I've been Eddie and Dr. Scott in Rocky Horror. So I mean, Tim Curry's my guy. Yeah, that was not okay.
No. Y'all remember when that clown?
Here, Billy. What?
Y'all remember when people were going around dressed up as clowns like a few years ago or something? Bro, I was terrified that was going to happen.
The clown gang.
I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm just going to like black out and lose it. Like, absolutely not.
We were on a cruise and it was my birthday and I got a package wrapped and a clown spider printout from the internet. Like you've seen these clown spiders. Do you know what these things are?
I don't
Oh my
even
god, I'm
know.
gonna puke
Please,
if I
no.
do it. Hold
No,
on,
don't.
I gotta show.
No, do not
Oh,
pull
we're
it up.
doing it. We're doing
Oh,
it here.
Oh
Seem
God.
to be made to suffer. Shut up. Of course you're made to suffer.
My God, I'm being
Droid.
tortured like Chewie.
Oh my gosh, I was watching Jedi again the other day.
The
because-
Last Jedi?
No, Return
my-
of the Jedi.
Okay.
Revenge of the Jedi.
Yes, Revenge of the Jedi.
Jedis don't take revenge.
God, this
I have a
is
poster that
terrible.
proves otherwise.
All right, here we go.
Oh no.
Cameron, you'll want to stop your
No.
video. Okay, if you're watching, I got a clown spider. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's clown spider. It's actually a real thing. And they're
Clown spider.
just look at that.
Aww. He's so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Not as cute as a peacock spider,
Look at
but
it. Oh, look,
Absolutely not.
No, there's no. Look,
You
this
just
is
want a little
something
hug.
straight out of a nightmare. Look at this. It's like freaking Oogie Boogie.
clicked out.
What's that? Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack. What? I can't.
Boogity boogity.
God, I'm
He
literally
ain't
not gonna
You
sleep.
ain't happy.
tonight.
He's going to venomize you. Look at that. Ooh.
you clicked out. It's just-
Thank God. No, you shouldn't have told him. Stay clicked out, please.
Look, I didn't
Let's
want you to miss
go.
out. This guy's happy. Look at him. He's happy.
Look at him. He's a little happy face.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he's
All right, don't
happily
click
gonna
on that
torture
now.
me in my dreams
Sure.
tonight.
Oh.
Aw.
Okay.
It's just
Wow.
a little guy.
Ooh, okay. Yes. Next week, through power, I gain victory. No clown spiders. How do you do with spiders or just the clowns? Spiders you're good with?
Nah, both. I mean, honestly, now both. I'm petrified.
Listen, don't tell my wife I told you this, but we were at the hotel this weekend because we did 2 vineyards, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. It was amazing. And the first thing I do anytime I get into a hotel is like just like throw the covers back, right? Throw the covers back, nothing there. I'm like, cool. So I just kind of jump on the bed, and I'm sitting there with my phone scrolling, and something catches my eye, and I look, and I'm, oh hell no, I'm not doing this. And I jump out of the bed, and Charlotte's like, what's happening with it? There's a spider on the right over there by the pillow, and she's like, are you kidding me? Let me go get a tissue and go get the spider. And I'm like, no, it's cool. Look, I'll get it. But can you go get the tissue? I don't want to lose sight of him, and then he end up in my pillowcase or something. And so she goes back. Okay,
I need a new room. I need a new room. Front
I
desk.
need something for
I need a
reference.
new
Hold on.
room.
There's for reference,
Bad.
right? It was about as big as South Texas, right there. It was just a tiny, tiny little, but it was up above my head. Come on.
You're just gonna crawl in your ears a little. Roman.
They say you eat
Cockroaches
like
do it.
18 spiders in your lifetime while you sleep. You eat spider.
Yummy.
Clown spiders and Ryan Johnson.
Man, I know, right?
They're gonna-
things that we all love.
they're gonna-
to eat.
They're gonna torture me later. Not sleeping for.
It was a nightmare. It was a clown spider that was being ridden by Ryan Johnson.
Clown spider with the head.
Oh my gosh. Josiah, thank you for joining it. You're our number 1 fan. I really appreciate that.
Yes,
Agua, I
sir.
don't know where he was. He usually watches. I know he's a good fan too. We've got a couple others. We really appreciate y'all. I did say something about wanting to expand, and I don't know what I was thinking. That's too much work. So don't worry about expanding. Just keep it status quo. Everybody come watch when you want to. Agua, just working. Yes! Good for you, Agua. Thanks for joining. It's always good to have a fan. No, seriously, Cameron, Debbie, Zane, thank you so much. This was super fun. I'll try to be a little more prepared next week and get that. Make sure you guys are copied on the outline when I send it the day before. So, yeah, I was having all sorts of problems today. You're in the AV, Debbie. I'm like, I can't get in. I can't, whatever. And then, yeah. So, but we're all good. I want to also look to try to get a guest. We've got a couple. Oh, I might be on a show too. Maybe with Mark. Mark is trying to get something together with some crossover Star Warsy Trekkie stuff, and I said absolutely, throw me in. I know a lot about Star Trek too. I just don't talk about it on the show. The only show I haven't seen all the episodes of so far is Picard. I've watched pretty much every other thing. Oh, Deep Space Nine. I didn't finish.
Just season 3. That's all you need.
That's all I need. I watched season 1. I didn't see season 2, but if I just go straight 3, I'm good. Okay.
Yes.
TNG, my absolute favorite, and it's a toss-up between Riker and Picard as my favorite. Kind of on that show.
Yeah.
What?
I said
Riker?
toss-up.
It's a
Why is
toss-up.
that a toss-up?
Because there's different things that. Agua. Who's that? Skywalker. What? Awesome. Thank you for joining as well. I can't see the name. It's hidden.
Skywalker Academy.
Academy. Thank you.
Dale, I believe.
Yeah. I think so too. What was I saying? Shit. Oh, Picard. Different reasons. I think I love Picard. It's First Contact. I don't think a lot of folks like, but I love his
I did.
that whole the line must be drawn here in him, and like you broke your little ship. Like I loved it. I loved. Yep, there you go, Debbie. Thank you. You broke
Sometimes my memory works. Not
yes,
often,
that NyQuil must be wearing off. You need to take another shot, Deb. Come on. All right. Yeah, I can't wait to do that. I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know too. If I'm on that show or when I'm on that show, it'll be super fun. I'd like to get back on MCU or not MCU. What's the other Cantina Happy Hour at some point whenever I've watched whatever you guys are reviewing. So
You haven't watched Rebels?
Is that what y'all are reviewing right now? Well, shit, I've been on. Okay. This is where I go. Well, no one's asked me to be on. No.
Yeah. Guilt trip. Let's go.
Don't be that guy, Dana. Yeah, I know.
Well, this will probably. Now we might have 2 more weeks of Rebels, and then we'll start on Bad Batch because Bad Batch starts on the 20th.
Hold up. 2 more weeks of Rebels. So that means you're going to be going over Kanan's death and all that here in the next 2 weeks.
No, because we're only on season 1.
Oh, I thought y'all were wrapping like the whole series. You're just starting.
No, we're because there's not much Star Wars content right now. We're just going over stuff that we've never done. So we've never done Rebels on a show. So
Sweet.
We're doing that until Bad Batch, and then we'll do Bad Batch. And once that's over, depending on when Acolyte comes out,
Yeah.
If that doesn't come out soon, then we'll go back to Rebels.
Heck yeah. I had just run across that. It's a meme where they're saying, for those of you that say Rebels is a kid show, and then they show several scenes, of which the last being Kanan. And I'm in tears, man. And my son knows I'm a big baby. Like, if you build it, they will come. I'm crying my eyes out. You want to have a cat?
I'm the same way.
I just want to have a cat with my father. Oh, shut up. Just grow up. No. You're a 50-year-old man. You're whining about not having a cat with your dad. Grow a set. I'm just kidding. I cry in my sleep every night. I haven't had a cat with my father 35 years. No. So Zane's like, you never had a catch with me, but we played soccer.
I have a picture of us doing it once.
Oh yeah, we throwing the football once. I remember.
Yeah.
We got that. That's on Facebook. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, so super fun tonight, guys. I can't wait for next week. And yeah, man, it's kind of silly that we just do this for fun, right? Nobody's getting any money out of this, but it's certainly fun to kind of expand and talk about things that maybe you ordinarily wouldn't talk about. So I would invite anyone, seriously, to just jump in a DM if you want to talk about something Sithy on the dark side in the future. Just let us know. I'm about to start getting active again for the first time on Facebook and stuff. I have a page for the Sith Dominion. I just never really use it. But I have all kinds of other social stuff I'm going to start pushing out because it seems I got a DM in TikTok that people are actually wanting me to do some more of the videos that I used to do, where I was talking about, this kick ass today. It was a KAT, just a little story about, doing shit today. Do it well, do it right, and kick ass. And just stuff like that. Letting people have power over you, how important it is that you consume that power for yourself. Just stuff like that. So I'm gonna start doing more of that, using my doctorate, I guess, for what it should be used for, instead of just having fun with Star Wars. But there's nothing wrong with that. I did do one thing, and I forgot to say, I did do the Lego bomber, TIE bomber. I got that completed. That's a nice one. I like it. I got it for Christmas. It was very cool. Just put it together though. It's only 4 bags. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping there was 5, but that's all right. 4 bags. Better than no bags.
I forgot to pull out my figure. I'll show it next time that I got it.
Yes.
Animeverse. It's the redeemed Vader from the Star Wars Infinities run or something.
Oh my god.
So, the all white Vader. I'll bring it on next pod.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Awesome. We will see you all next week. We will be talking again about Through Power, I Gain Victory. And for all of you that have joined us, that stuck with us through the show, thank you so much. For those of you listening at home on your podcast later on, thank you so much. And remember to like and follow and subscribe. And we have shows like MCU Mondays. We have shows like, I just said it, Cantina Happy Hour on Thursdays. We have lightsabers, Captain's Logs and Lightsabers by Mark. And we have that come out every now and then. We've also got Cam in Focus. I think he just released one about a week or 2 ago. And then the Geek Gauntlet that runs on Saturday nights. I still want to get back on there. I've only been on there once. I got to find something I can talk about, though. Man, that's a lot. We have a lot going on at GNN, and I know we just cranked out like 5-6 articles in the last week alone. So lots of fun. We've got Valentine's Day articles. We've got all kinds of articles for Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever, MCU, everything. Plenty of stuff for you guys to find. Like and subscribe so we can keep doing this. And remember, kids, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Good night, everybody.